we were farmers, and so we sold gari, we sold pepper, we sold. If you had met me in 2020, you would have known me as a physics teacher. But what most people didn't know then was, aside school hours, I was quietly building something on the side. It began by selling fabrics. Growing up, selling wasn't new to me. We were farmers, and so we sold gari, we sold pepper, we sold agricultural products we got from our farm. And also, my mom was a trader. She sold clothes, okrika, as we commonly call them, second-handed clothes, right? And then we did help her sell clothes as well. Fashion wasn't also new to me. My mom was a born stylist, and personally, I genuinely love dressing well. And so I was becoming associated with good style. Wherever I went to, I had that this guy can dress tag. And so wherever I went, one question kept popping up. Do you sew? Obviously, I didn't. I was just someone who loved to dress well and enjoyed looking really good. And as I sold fabrics while teaching, I noticed one question also kept coming up. The customers had this complaint of, now I bought fabric, who can sew it for me? And so I began connecting them with trusted tailors I had at the time. I began making clothes for the customers who bought fabrics from me consistently. Without realizing it, I became not just a fabric seller, I was now a fashion entrepreneur. I was still teaching full time, but every week I would make out time to go from place to place, selling fabrics, taking measurements, coordinating productions remotely, meeting up with clients and all of that. And that side hustle became a training ground for my business today. So that side hustle taught me sales, it taught me customer service, it taught me production, it taught me how to build trust. The more I learned, the more I got exposed, the clearer the vision became, and then something interesting happened. People didn't just buy because I sold fashion. They bought because of the way I dressed. It was easier to convince them from what I was wearing that I'm a fashion designer and a fashion entrepreneur, and I knew my business. So from my clothes, I could easily sell. So my dressing became a marketing tool for me. I wasn't really running advertisements. I was simply living the brand before the brand fully existed. There came a time while I was still teaching, I closed the deal that was worth more than my salary in 1 month. As a matter of fact, I was already getting ready for the next phase of my career in teaching. I had just enrolled to further my education, to acquire professional qualification as a physics teacher, and I started reconsidering the whole thing. Should I get into business, or should I keep up with pursuing a career in education? And it became like a crossroads in my life. Then it was in that period I came across an illustration that a plant can never outgrow the small flower pot where it is planted. Not because it lacks potential, but because the environment in which it is will limit its growth. I looked at my own life and started considering the odds. What's there for me in the teaching profession? If I were to pursue a career in education, how much can I make from it? What are the options available there? And in business, as a fashion entrepreneur or as a business owner, what are the odds? What are the options? How much can I explore? What are the live options? And then when I weighed it, I came to a decision that fashion was definitely going to be a larger field for me to explore and perhaps try. I also had learned another principle in that season, positioning. I didn't want to become just another fashion brand or a tailoring shop that served everybody and then had these tags of disappointment and tailor wahala and all of those things. I wanted to serve a specific kind of audience, a gentleman. And when that pieced out clearly, things became even more crystal clear. The Gentleman's Corner, not just a fashion brand, but a brand built around identity, excellence, nobility, and purpose, in line with my faith in Jesus Christ and moral values. That clarity gave me the courage to make one of the biggest decisions of my life. I resigned from teaching and the teaching dream entirely, of course, the classroom teaching, to focus on building what is now hopefully Goodest Couture. Initially, it wasn't easy, but it's better now. And I was able to go through all of that phase until I found my footing. I started learning from mentor brands. I take time to look at their pages, look at their work, and I follow through. Looking back today, I can confidently say this. Sometimes the biggest risk is staying in a place you've already outgrown. And for me, leaving the classroom was not running away from purpose, but was running towards it. As this is our mantra, transformation begins with identity, and identity shows in how you show up.